This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate on this Thursday. That's the plan. Morning Juice. Bobby, over my left, is back. Tito. Big Mo here in for Brody. It's a Thursday Brody, so we will call him Brody all day today. Bobby, how are you today, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing great, sir. Back, ready to go. Excited for this week with you. Next couple days, anyway.
Morning Juice sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin and Event Risk Elite Protection. 2 full hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, and HD3. You can download the show anytime. Catch us from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Also, you can hear a replay of this year's show on the Fan 2, 1460 a.m. from 1 to 3 p.m. We are also live on Facebook and Twitter. Big show lined up for you today. Albert Breer will join us around 7:05. NFL picks at 7:20 with Ya Highness at 7:30. We can do all of that. Last night, Jackets lost 5-1 to the Flames. Jackets in Vancouver on Saturday. Cavs beat the Sixers 132-121. Cavs are at Washington Friday. Vegas and Denver tonight play in the NFL game. I don't think I will watch that one because Vegas is Vegas. Big Mo, how are you today, my friend?
I am doing wonderful. It's a Thursday. It's almost over for the week. I'm pumped.
Yes, it is Thursday. That is, we are close to the end of the week. Bob, you are back from Jersey.
Yeah.
And saying how was it is a bad way to put it, but like what?
Well, I will say this. Because I was on with Rothman and Maddie yesterday talking about it a little bit. I mean, they did a really good job. The New York Jet, Jenny, his ex-wife, was tremendous. And, you know, their planning was phenomenal. Everything went off really well. Would have been something that Nick would have been very proud to have been a part of. And the Jets were tremendous, you know, helping set up the Jersey State Police with the police escorts and everything there. Did a tremendous job of honoring him. A lot of his former teammates, there was probably 20 to 25 guys from Ohio State there, including Coach Tressel and Jim Bowman. And then there was, I don't know, maybe 30 to 40 guys that played with him or coached him during his time with the Jets. So a lot of guys came back and came through. Guys came from all over the country. Depending on where they were living right now to get back for it. And it was a really great honor for him. Alan Faneca delivered the eulogy, which was really, really well done. Touched on all the aspects of Nick's life, was able to weave it together in a very impressive way. And then after the funeral, they had a great celebration of life over at Trump National. And like I said, great police escort there. And it was a beautiful scene. And everybody came, you know, had some drinks, told some stories. And got to honor him in the way that he deserved.
It's interesting to me, Bob, like when in those situations, it sounds like the celebration, the way things went, is how Nick would have wanted it. And I know it feels kind of like it's kind of weird to say, like, well, this was a great, I don't want to say great time. Like, I wouldn't say you had can I ask if you had a good time out there?
Yeah, I mean, you got to see a lot of people.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's usually weddings and funerals are where everybody gets back together. And
right.
So we made a conscious effort to try to do some more stuff together and try to plan some things to figure that all out and make sure that we're connecting because everybody really enjoyed seeing each other. And I think that's, you know, just the way Nick would have probably liked it. So it was, like I said, the circumstances dictating why you're there were you know, tragic and difficult, but getting to see everybody and getting a chance to be there with everyone and the connection that was made and the conversations that were had, those are all tremendous.
Sure. I'm sure we'll talk about that more later on. As a matter of fact, I will probably end up ceding all of what's got you juiced to you. But first, though, Bobby, let's make people smarter.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
All right, Carp. Today in history rolls on, no matter what the circumstances. What do you got for us today?
Oh, goodness. We've got a big one for you today as I'm trying to figure out here how to...
Do I need to pontificate?
No, you're fine. I mean, I can... Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. It is Thursday, November 6th, the 310th day of the year. 55 days remaining in this 2025. This date, 1860. President Abraham Lincoln is elected as the 16th president.
16th.
16th, yeah, well.
I'm just telling you, I think it's 16.
Well, as the winning only 40% of the popular vote, there were 4 people on the ballot, so he did win. He did win the most, but he did not win a majority of it with only 40%. 1869, Rutgers defeats Princeton. At the time was referred to as the College of New Jersey, and what many people will say was the first intercollegiate college football game ever. The score was 6-4. I'm not sure exactly how they were scoring it. I'm guessing it was a little bit different than what they do today.
Rutgers scores about that much now, doesn't it?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Well,
do.
they're defensive team, Mo.
That's what they're. They're built on defense.
Run the ball on defense is their calling card, if you will, at this moment. This day, 1900, William McKinley is reelected with Teddy Roosevelt being his vice president. Why? You want to take a stab at?
No, I don't want to, but I feel like I have to the way you worded that, though. Like I know the other one earlier with Lincoln was easy. 22.
William McKinley, serving as president of the United States. Would you say it was 22?
I said 22.
From 1896 until 1901, was reelected and then assassinated. He was the 25th president.
All right.
And he's an Ohio guy, so I was
Yes, he
hoping
is.
you'd do a better job of that.
His first name was Canton. Right?
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
It's not Canton McKinley?
I think that's the city that the school.
I thought his name was Canton McKinley. He'd been in high school after him.
His name is William McKinley.
William Canton McKinley.
That's not his first. That'd have been his middle name then.
Okay, William Canton, WC.
This date, 1947, the first airing and longest running program currently on television on NBC, Meet the Press debuts.
Because if it is Sunday.
If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Was that Tom Brokaw at the beginning?
Yes, it was.
Call Bob.
Did he do that after Tim Russert passed, or was that?
No, he did it before.
Before Tim Russert? Gotcha. This date, 1969, the inaugural Cy Young Award is won. Do you know who won it?
In what, 1959, right?
69.
No, it was a 59. It was, I'm going to say it was Don Newcomb. Is that right or not?
It is not.
Yeah, they started in 59. So Koufax was done by 69, and he won 3 of them. So I think it was 59 when they started the Cy Young Award. And for the first few years of it, it was just awarded to one pitcher, regardless of league. And then they started splitting it up. 1969 might have been the first time they split it. But I think 59, though, was when they...
Maybe it said the inaugural Cy Young Awards. Maybe they did split
awards would be that. Yeah, if it was more than one, yeah. Because I know originally they did not. They used to just have it for one, and like when Sandy Koufax won all of his,
it was just one for both.
It was just one for both leagues. I think that's probably when it split over, because I know that Sandy won three of them, and I think that it was without it being split. So first introduced in 56. Let me see here. The 67 is when they changed it over to 2.
Yes. I guess, well.
Newcomb did win the first one, 56.
Good
and
job.
Then 60.
Got bad information on my website.
That's all right. But yeah, so, yeah.
But
Newcomb,
69 was notable because it was the first time that they split it between two.
Well, they split it in 67.
Well, I mean, like two guys won it.
Yeah, 69. You're right. Yeah, Cuellar and Denny McClain had a 24-win season that year. Yes. So.
We have some sound for that.
We do.
Let's hear it.
The pitcher is Mike Cuellar. He was the winningest left-hander in the major leagues this year with 23 victories.
Cuellar and McNally, they had won 20, and Palmer was the best pitcher on the team.
Palmer's really rough. He's won 14, lost 3.
And he's the only one that hadn't won 20.
While Palmer could boast the rotation's lowest ERA, McNally started the season 15-0, and Cuellar was on his way to a Cy Young.
Denny McClain pitching for the Tigers. Fires a third strike past Mike Shannon. Julian Javier at bat, and he too looks at a third strike. Tiger manager Mayo Smith breathes a sigh of relief as the Cardinals fail to score.
So they split the American League is what they did that year.
Bob,
they're Tigers and Orioles.
I have talked to former pitchers, former pitching coaches, and I cannot figure out why in the hell all of a sudden guys can't throw like they used to as far as number of innings pitched. Like back then, guys would throw 300 innings.
Yeah.
You'd see Nolan Ryan have a 250-pitch game and come back 3 days later and throw another complete game.
Well, I will tell you this. I feel like part of the reason why they don't have people do that anymore is the science and the ability to scout pitchers has gotten significantly better.
Right.
With all the video stuff, and that's why they never want to see starting pitchers go through a lineup 3 times.
I know.
And so they pull guys after usually the second, early into the third. They could probably do it if you would have them go
like
through.
Physically, if they could do it, yes.
I get they probably physically would, but they have all these guys that specialize now, and so there you go. This State 1982 hitting number 1 with Joe Crocker and Jennifer Waynes.
Up Where We Belong?
Up Where We Belong is number 1.
Up where we belong. Up from the world below. Up where the clear winds blow.
Just old Richard Gere walking into that factory.
What movie's that from?
An Officer and a Gentleman.
Oh, okay.
That's where the song was.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was the original soundtrack, was that?
Louis Gossett Jr. won an Academy Award for that
Yes.
movie.
Was that the Deborah Winger in that, too?
Yes.
Yes.
I've seen clips. I haven't seen the whole
I've
movie.
seen clips.
I have. I've seen the movie.
Before they even. That was before the internet.
Yeah, don't tell me that. Don't spoil it for me. I might watch it someday.
Well, that song was playing at the very end.
I'm just saying, like, I'll probably be laying in bed someday here in the next 10 years.
He carries her out of the factory.
Yeah.
Was it a happy ending? Sorry. Was it a
Actually,
was it a positive ending?
Yeah, the best part was the scene at the from the barn when he's fighting old boy. That was so good.
Who was he fighting?
Yeah.
Not Louis Gossett Jr.
David Keith.
Yeah, who's his
is
drill
it the
sergeant.
Karate guy?
Yeah, so good.
Is that the karate guy, David Keith?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know what the karate guy means.
There's a David. Oh, I'm thinking David Carradine. So I'm thinking of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right? That's karate guy, right?
David Carradine, yeah.
Okay. Carradine. Thank you.
This day, 1983, Evander Holyfield beats Riddick Bowe in 12 for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Holyfield landing again. Holyfield a combination. Still going at Bowe. And rolling. Real low blow. Low blow by Bowe, and Holyfield tried to cover up. Big right hand. And Bowe responds. Mouthpiece almost coming out. Bowe's trying to break free. I think he. And that is it. They're still fighting. And Holyfield landed a left against Bowe. And it is.
Holyfield, he followed the game plan to the team.
Holyfield wins it. Holyfield wins a decision.
That was one of the, like, I don't know, Bob, if there's been they had a trilogy, Bowe and Holyfield did. And I don't know if I felt strongly about boxing in another trilogy since then. You know,
was the
it's
last
like,
trilogy.
Yeah.
that was like the last big one, I think. I know that there's been other ones that have happened, but I don't like the Bowe Holyfield heavyweight championship and all that stuff. They had so many different dramatic things happen, like you had Fan Man, jumping into the ring and things like that. I don't know. I just feel like that was the last great one.
They were, in my mind, other than Tyson, and Tyson was going through his legal troubles then.
Yes.
That was the most powerful two boxers you could ever want in the ring.
Yeah.
And the most fun to watch, probably.
Yeah.
There we go. And then 2 years later, a day that'll live in infamy for Cleveland Brown fans, Art Modell announces his intention and signed a deal to move to Baltimore.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a signed contract in hand. The Browns are indeed coming to Baltimore.
The city of Baltimore rejoiced Monday as Cleveland Browns owner Art Modell announced his intention to move the storied Browns franchise to Baltimore.
This has been a very, very tough road for my family and for me. I leave Cleveland, Ohio, 35 years, and leave my heart, a good part of my heart and soul there. I can never forget the kindness of the people of Cleveland, the fans that supported the Browns for years, but frankly, it came down to a simple proposition. I had no choice.
Okay. Growing up, Browns fan, yes. I wept when Elway had the drive.
As did I.
Yes. It was the week before the Jets game, Double OT was great. Mosley making the field goal.
Yep.
Modell did a lot of really good things to the NFL, though, Bob. Like the TV contract negotiations. He was like one of the guys who, when you watch how the NFL is presented now on Sundays, really Thursdays, Sundays, Mondays, you can give a tip of the cap to Modell for that because he played a big role in that. I understand.
A lot of people in Cleveland, they're ready to give him his due.
I understand that. Yes, I know, Bob. I don't know who to blame. I don't. Is there a 30 for 30? Is there some kind of like deep dive?
Well, it's on the Believeland.
Okay,
one.
Believeland thing with 30 for 30 about why he moved the team and didn't feel like he could get the support.
They couldn't get the stadium done. They built the Jake.
The Cleveland 95 also because they talk about how that team had these amazing coaches and all that. No, it's to me, there's equal blame. But even now, how many years later? I hear him talk about his love for Cleveland, but he had no choice, and do
you think he had no choice?
I think that there's always a choice. It's like what is happening today in the public arena. You have two powerful entities that won't talk to each other. That's what I think it was.
If the Cleveland Browns had better ownership since Modell left and better decision making, would Cleveland fans still be as bitter?
No, because they'd be successful.
Yeah,
it's the fact that they haven't been good.
Super Bowl and Ravens, right? And Ozzie Newsome goes with them. That's they take the heart and soul of Browns.
Yeah.
Because Ozzie Newsome's like Mount Rushmore Cleveland players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes to Baltimore and wins there.
Yeah.
But, I couldn't feel bad for him. I hated the Ravens.
Good for Ozzie.
Yeah, but I couldn't feel bad for him. I mean, he had earned the right to be a general manager.
Sure he did, yeah.
So I couldn't feel bad for him, and Matty Ice and I have been back and forth about this because, of course, he's...
The Ravens guy, yeah. Original Browns, OBs.
Oh,
that's fine. That's fine.
Don't even.
I'm just saying, it is happy for Ozzie Newsome. He did a lot of great things.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he would have stood his ground and said, I'm not going with you to Baltimore, and then stayed with the Browns ownership after that.
Well, they had to find ownership.
They had to find ownership, yes.
It wasn't like they just had a new team.
You're right. It wasn't overnight. You're right. But I'm saying if Ozzie would have said, I'm not going with you, I'm Cleveland, I wonder if that would have changed things at all for how Browns fans perceive the Ravens. Because Ozzie, look, fantastic evaluator talent.
Yeah.
But not with Cleveland.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah. And that is today's Cleveland Browns minute.
Yes, it is.
Some birthdays today. Charles Dow, born on this date, 1851, the economist and the man who created the Dow Index that we now use. Walter Johnson, born on this date, 1887, one of the inaugural 5 of the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame. Zig Ziglar, the motivational speaker, born on this date, 1926. Glenn Fry of the Eagles, born on this date, 1928.
What movie?
That's
Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah. And Glenn Fry, if you ever watched the Eagles documentary, Bob, and I've told you and Bodie to watch it, you guys haven't, but the Eagles, it's like it was a 2-part thing they did, but it's like the Glenn Fry Don Henley pairing is so incredible, and the way they work together, writing songs and things like that, and then they separate. Then the hell freezes over. Thing comes up later on, but they were such a dynamic duo of that, and it alienated some of the other people in the band because they were like, Glenn Fry one time said this, like he mentioned, he said that not everybody gets to touch the ball on offense, and not everybody gets paid the same, and that's why how he justified that like he and Don should get more of the money than like Don Felder and Joe Walsh and other guys in the band. So, but Glenn Fry, though, fantastic. My God, he was so good.
He was really good. Born on this date, or turning 57 today, one of the stars of Melrose Place and Gossip Girl, Kelly Rutherford.
I won't be needing your services any longer. Why? Are you and Michael intimate again?
What was he doing here?
He followed me.
Our deal was very specific. You were to
beach house. Look, there was nothing I could do about this.
I hired you to service him in bed, not to become his new best friend.
Sounds like a great job.
Yeah, Michael likes to talk, and when I wouldn't talk about my life, it got very weird.
We had a business arrangement, and now it's over. I'll have a final check for you in the next day or so. In the meantime, cut him loose.
Just like that. Kimberly. Kimberly! Michael won't go away that easily. I took him places he's never been before.
Ooh. Gosh, it's saucy.
Michael is mine, Megan. End the relationship now.
Kelly Rutherford, if you're listening, @ThatHappens on Twitter. Reach out to me on there. We'll send private messages.
She's the best.
That's fine.
That was a very saucy interaction right there.
That sounds like it.
I dug deep for that one.
That was good.
I went 6 to 12. What do you got, Bob?
Turning 55 today. Curious what you got from Mr. Ethan Hawke.
You got something for me on training day?
In all seriousness, that experience changed my life.
Oh, you mother. Okay.
Good editing.
This is the best.
All right.
I know.
I'm putting cases on all you.
Well, hit that speech about King Kong and all that sort of stuff.
If I had to point, that speech was not scripted, and it was an unbelievable fireworks display on set. It was late in the shooting, and we had been doing drive-arounds with police officers, and he had been learning, and he had his creativity and his depth of imagination of the way he was exploring that character, it just exploded in that final monologue.
There we go. That was unscripted. That's amazing.
That's a good movie. Okay. I've seen it.
Congrats. Just
You're
because
welcome.
you've seen it doesn't make it good, but it is good.
I only watch good movies.
Well, I don't know about
Gladiator's overrated, but yes, that was a good movie. That was a good one.
The Gladiator take is one that I do enjoy.
Dude, I fell asleep. What do you want to do?
That's your call. That's your fault.
Did I drink? Maybe.
It doesn't
Maybe
matter.
I passed out instead of fall asleep. Fine.
Born on this date, 1976. One of the true American heroes, Pat Tillman.
Patrick Pat Tillman was a successful football player who gave up his career to become a soldier. For this, he turned down a $3.6 million contract with the Cardinals. Before that, Pat had even turned down a $9 million contract with another football team because he wanted to stay loyal to his club. After the September 11th attacks, however, he decided to hang up his professional career and serve his country instead. Together with his brother, he joined the military and successfully went through the Army Rangers selection program. On April 22, 2004, Pat's team was ambushed in Afghanistan. While the Ranger was leading his men against the enemy, an accidental friendly fire occurred, killing Pat. His superiors initially tried to cover up the incident. Only at the insistence of the family were the circumstances of his death made public. Many of the details surrounding the incident remain unclear to this day. Pat was posthumously promoted to corporal and awarded the Silver Star and Purple Heart. May he rest in peace.
So, Bob, I don't know if it's widely known. If it is, whatever. But I'm just saying, that was one of the reasons why you three guys, right?
Yeah.
Grew out your hair.
Yeah.
Because of Tillman.
He passed away, in 2004.
And you guys made a conscious effort. You're like, you know what, let's do this.
Yeah. I remember we were playing, because they had big 42s on Arizona. Wisconsin played Arizona that year.
Okay.
We were watching Arizona, maybe the bowl game. I forget how it came down. And they had big 42s on the field, which was his number in college. 40 was his number with the Cardinals. And, they had a sweet picture, the cover of Sports Illustrated with him with his long hair. Just unbelievable guy and a great, great man. As well.
Bob, when you look at, I've heard I've heard that people are
seen clips.
No, that people think that they should somehow honor him with the 42-yard line on fields. Maybe it's a different color on the hash mark or something, but somehow honor, because Tillman, yes, the fact he did what he did, and to maybe make the 42-yard line, maybe have the hash mark, the numbers on that right there be red or something like that to signify the fact he was 42.
Yeah.
I would love to see it.
I think Tillman was the last real tough safety, that old school.
That's a good call.
Yeah, you
come out and just smack you around.
I don't know if you can play like that anymore.
You can't. No, you can't. No, there's no way you can. No.
And then finally, not finally, Lamar Odom turning at 46 today. And then Aaron Hernandez, born on this date, 1989.
1999 in Bristol, Connecticut. He's known for being a professional football player. He could have had a great life and career, winning many Super Bowls with the New England Patriots, but he chose a different path. He played 3 seasons with the Patriots, and his potential was off the charts. He was a star athlete in high school. His father was abusive and controlling. His dad died when Aaron was 16 years old during a routine hernia operation. This is when Aaron started acting out. He was a first-team All-American as a junior at the University of Florida. NFL teams were hesitant to draft him due to his many off-the-field issues. In 2012, he signed a 5-year, $40 million contract. In 2013, he was arrested for the murder of Odin Lloyd, a semi-professional football player who was dating his fiance's sister. While in prison, he was indicted and eventually acquitted of 2 more murders. Many people have said he was hiding his sexuality, but his fiancée said she never suspected he was gay. They had 1 daughter together. In 2015, he was found guilty of murder and given life in prison. In 2017, he ended his own life. His brain showed signs of chronic traumatic encephalopathy. He was 27 years old.
Okay, so did you cross paths with him in New England, right? Okay.
Played with Aaron.
There was a famous SNL skit when they mimicked Reagan getting shot by John Hinckley and talking to people that knew John Hinckley. And everyone said, like, you know, oh, he was such a good boy, nice boy, loved having him around. Can you believe he did this? Oh, yeah, definitely. Was there a time, like, did you think when you were doing Aaron Hernandez stuff that went on with him, did you think, oh, I'm shocked by this, or, oh, yeah, I kind of saw it coming?
If you told me that he was, like, partaking in, like, illegal activity, I would have believed that.
Okay.
Like, involved in, like, some gang stuff and different things. I mean, I'd played with guys who were probably on the fringe of that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things that he did as far as, I mean, executing people, which is what that
that's what it was, essentially,
I mean, driving someone someplace to put 2 in the back of their head.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if I could have gotten that far for
Okay.
you. That may have been a bridge too far for me to anticipate that. So, yeah. I don't know if I've been around anybody, I would say, that is capable of that, just knowing, unless you... I don't think I'd like to know anybody on that deep of a level where I'd be able to predict that. That's
close,
part of
Bob. I'm there.
That's part of the problem. Some holidays and observances. It is a basketball day. It is International Stout Day. It is National Healthy Eating Day, Thitoff.
Oh, good.
But also followed up with National Nachos Day, so those might be in direct competition with
tomatoes
each other.
on the nachos, I'm good.
And those are historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date. Thursday, November 6th, the 310th day of the year, and 55 days remaining in this 2025.
Well done, as always, General. Coming up next, a writer for The Athletic ranked the 18 head coaching jobs in the Big Ten. Do we agree? We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment? Facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we.
Brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together.
Established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You know what hope is? Hope is action. Carving a path forward, even when it's hard.
And kids who still know how to dream. They're the best pathfinders of all.
So at Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and so all those good things can come true for them, safe.
And that means safe at home, safe at school, and safe online.
Hope means walking this path together, all of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 23 countries to help them achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
At National Geographic Society, we believe in the power of wonder. It drives us to explore, pushes us to see the world differently, moves us to action. And we believe that today, wonder is more essential than ever. Wow. That's why we're supporting a new generation of explorers to ask big questions, make breakthroughs, and bring the future closer. Wonder awaits. Will you join us? Visit natgeo.org/wonder.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Morning Juice. Tito, Carpenter, Big Mo with you today. Brody's back tomorrow. It is a Thursday, Brody day. Anyway, so Bobby, the writer for The Athletic ranked the 18 coaching jobs in the Big Ten, 1 to 18. And he kind of prefaced it by saying which programs are best set up for success, and also like how to rank the jobs. I'm sure you are aware Ohio State would be number 1, Oregon 2. Who would you think would be at 3? Because, look, this is a writer's opinion. I'm not saying, so it's not the gospel, so you might disagree, and that's okay. But who would you think would be 3 among...
Who was 2? Oregon?
Oregon was 2. Ohio State 1, Oregon 2. Looking at like what they have as far as, NIL and whatnot. You got the Nike tie-in and all that.
I understand all the qualifications.
Because when I heard who 3 was, I disagreed with it. But who do you think is 3?
Michigan?
No. USC.
That's
3.
not right.
I agree. Michigan 4. Who do you think is 5?
Penn State.
Penn State's 5. All right. Then they have like a second tier, they call it. 6? Do you want to guess who this writer thinks it is? And it's not right, but who they have 6.
Well, I'm not taking just because you don't think it's right.
I don't think
it's not right.
It's wrong.
Washington?
Good call by you. Yes, I wouldn't have watched 6.
Because you're not fully educated on it.
That's probably what it is. That's fine. I have no problem admitting that. I will throw stuff at the wall. I don't care. I'm like the monkey with the poop. I'll throw it against the wall.
It's wrong. Saying I don't agree with it is one thing.
Yeah, I still think it's wrong. Number 7?
Nebraska.
Good call by you. Number 8.
I've never even looked at this.
I know you haven't. I know you haven't looked at it. Number 8.
Let me think of other Big Ten teams now.
It starts with an I.
Indiana.
Iowa. See?
Iowa.
There we go. Iowa 8, Indiana 9. 10?
I disagree with that.
Exactly. It's wrong. 10?
Hold on. I need to pull up the list of Big Ten
teams. I know what you mean. You never. I do the same thing, Bob. I had to look at it.
Now.
I had to have a split screen thing.
Okay. I need to get the standings.
So now we've already got. Here's. I'll run through.
Iowa, Indiana is at.
Indiana's at 9.
Who at 10?
Yeah.
I would put Illinois.
It is Wisconsin.
Yeah, maybe.
Followed by Michigan State. And then they have a third tier where it's Illinois, Purdue, Northwestern, Minnesota. And then the fourth tier. I got 3 teams left. I will give you the 3 teams in a random order. You tell me how you rank them.
Northwestern, UCLA, and
Northwestern was 14. It is. You've got a Maryland, Rutgers, UCLA combo there. How do you want to rank them? There's
is there
3
a
teams.
5th tier?
No, that's the 4th tier. It's final tier. 4th tier.
Northwestern in the 3rd?
Yes, Northwestern's 3rd tier.
That's inaccurate.
I agree with that too. So the 4th tier, you've got 3 teams: Maryland, Rutgers, UCLA. How would you rank those 3?
UCLA, Maryland, Rutgers.
That's how you got it. That's perfect. Right there it is. I was surprised, yes. I was surprised that Indiana was behind Iowa and Nebraska.
The thing is, historically, Indiana has never been good.
Right.
They won 2 Big Ten championships in 100-plus years.
Yes.
So program-wise, now the thing is, with what we've seen recently, I think there's proof that you can win there if you get the right person, and then you have the right backing. And also the rules have changed now. That's the other thing with this. Things have changed, and so the previous 100 years don't really matter much. All that matters is the previous 5.
Yes.
So that's why I would have Indiana above Iowa. mean, Washington's a good job.
I think so, too.
Washington and Nebraska, I think, are very good jobs. I don't know if they're that much significantly behind Penn State and Michigan, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, and I looked at it, though, too. I was looking at one of the things
Did he have in there the criteria of which he...
Here's what he said. He based it on future, like where they're right now, where they'll be at in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that the league sees itself, what is a football factory after multiple expansions. There is a more on-field variance for Big Ten programs than there was in pre-CFP. So he looks at where the programs are at right now and their potential for growing. USC over Michigan was interesting to me. USC 3, Michigan 4.
Here's the thing, and I would like to hear his thoughts on this as to why. Are there explanations around any of it?
Well, let's see. I'll tell you this for USC. They're 20 years removed from their dynastic peak under Pete Carroll. They had several spikes since winning back-to-back national titles. USC owns L.A.
Okay. Owning L.A. See, that is I don't know if anybody owns Los Angeles in the sports realm.
I don't think so either.
Nobody cares about sports there. People only go there as social events. And so if you're good and the seen and be seen, that's all great. But like no one goes to USC games. It's in a crappy part of town.
Here's one of the phrases, Bob. I think you'll like this. Other than Ohio State, USC has the highest floor of any Big Ten program.
That's not true.
I don't think it is either.
They've been bad.
I'm with you, Bob. I don't think they have the highest floor of any Big Ten program.
I think they have a really high ceiling. I think the variance on USC is massive, which is what we've seen throughout the last 20 years.
From Michigan, he said, since Lloyd Carr's retirement following the 2007 season, Michigan head coaches not named Jim Harbaugh were 54-47 entering 2025. The Wolverines boast every advantage of a traditional blue blood, but with the nation's largest stadium and massive financial resources. While Michigan should never collapse to Brady Hoke, Rich Rod levels again, it is prone to slump without the right coach. I think USC'd be 5. I'd put Michigan and Penn State both above USC.
You could have said that same thing about USC, except for the fact that they have a large stadium that no one goes to, and they have a large stadium that no one goes to, and their resources are good, not great. I think there's some division as far as their donor base and like what they want to actually achieve and what they want to do.
So when I look at those rankings, I think it's Ohio State 1. It is probably Oregon 2. I'd put Penn State 3, maybe Michigan 3, Penn State 4, and the USC 5.
All right. Do you want me to run through since Pete Carroll?
Yes.
8-5, 10-2, 7-6, 10-4, 9-4, 8-6. 10-3, 11-3, 5-7, 8-5, 5-1, 4-8, 11-3, 8-5, 7-6.
Yeah.
Now, I guarantee you, Michigan's is probably about the same. There might be like a 3 and
might be a couple, yes,
but it's about the same over the last 20 years.
And it is. I think it's fair to say, Bob, easier to recruit elite athletes for Michigan than for USC.
I don't know about that. It just depends on what guys want. The problem is that nobody goes to the games out there.
Right.
Like that's a big problem for him.
I think he's basing a lot of it on the glitz and the money that is involved because obviously USC probably may have just as big a donor base or the NIL money that can come in because he talked about that with Ohio State and Oregon.
Yeah.
They're backed by all that money. And you look at Penn State, really is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Sure it is, yeah.
But it does have a national name, but they don't have the money that a USC or an Ohio State or an Oregon has. Now, Michigan, you would think, obviously, they got a quarterback for quite a high price.
Right.
And their donor base is huge. But I got the feeling that's what he based a lot of it on.
All right, so here's what we're going to do.
Yep.
2020, pre-Jim Harbaugh.
Yep.
Or pre-national championship and playoff run. Well, I guess let's start here. We go for Lloyd Carr. Rich Rod, 3-9, 5-7, 7-6, 11-2, 8-5, 7-6, 5-7, 10-3, 10-3, 8-5, 10-3, 9-4, 2-4, and then you get Jim Harbaugh's last 3 years, which are a better run. I mean, Michigan has a much higher floor, I would say, kind of consistently.
Yep.
UCLA has just as big a variance moving through things. Michigan doesn't have near the national championship pedigree that USC does, but I would say Michigan is a much more solid and consistent program where USC has a much higher upside.
I think that's fair.
If you can get it right.
I think USC ceiling is higher, yes.
Getting it right there is really hard now, is what they've proven.
It's so interesting to me, Bobby, and I still can't figure out. I don't know the reason why Ohio State is so damn good at hiring coaches versus other
part
teams.
of it is the support that they may have might help significantly. And
so you think Ohio State has more support than like a USC or Michigan or Penn State?
Well, definitely more than USC.
Okay.
And the consistency level of it, they haven't. You could argue they haven't made a bad hire, since Woody Hayes.
Right.
I think part of that is the consistency of which they've hired, the athletic departments surrounding it. Michigan was like that for a while until they fell into Rich Rod and Brady Hoke, and Ohio State also hasn't had to try to make any hard, abrupt turns, which Michigan tried to do that with Rich Rod.
Sure.
It just didn't work. And then Brady Hoke was probably could Brady Hoke have been good here? Probably. I think Rich Rod could have been good, but people got so upset they didn't let him turn the corner. And so when you also hire people here, you feel like there's a pretty good consensus, which allows you to maintain your success because it's not divided on who you want there the whole time.
I wonder if I look at similarities like with Fickell and Rich Rod, where I think Rich Rod came in and made an abrupt culture change.
Yeah. And
Fickell kind of did the same thing. And I wonder if...
What do you mean Fickell came in and made an abrupt culture change?
Because, he wanted to do, a offensive philosophy. He went in and brought in like an air raid kind of thing with the kid
at
from
Wisconsin.
Yes, at Wisconsin. I mean, yes.
Okay, I thought you were talking about his time here.
Oh, no. I'm talking about at Wisconsin. Like, he kind of came in and he was like, we're going to go to this air raid thing.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm not saying it couldn't work, but I don't know if Wisconsin fans embraced it.
It was really hard for it to work.
Yeah.
Given the shifting landscape of what was going on. There was a lot of things working against that from having success.
Right.
And it's not how Wisconsin had traditionally won, so it didn't look and feel how you wanted it to. And I think they thought that that's what they were getting with Fick. The reality is I think Fick looked at something that maybe gave him a higher ceiling to win, but also opened up a basement that I don't think they realized they had.
Yeah. I think you're right. All right.
Well, let's do this.
Yeah.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work alongside them as partners, whether you're a small business or a large operation? Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area and will help you reach your goals. Whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep it running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them online at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them at 6300 France Road, Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Coming up next, a couple college football programs decided to play a home and home for the first time. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
Hey, does this sound like you where every step or reach is a reminder that it hurts? The pain is there. A reminder of what you're not able to do, how far you've drifted from that life you used to have and love where you didn't have the pain. Listen, if this is you, if this is a family member, you need to talk to them about it. You need to do what I did and go to QC Kinetics. They've got the answers for you, the relief without the scalpel, without the surgery. At QC Kinetics, they tap into your body's own regenerative power. The damaged tissue, it can be healed by itself. It's not science fiction. It's your body's comeback story. The very cells in your body can help you get healed with no surgery, no pills, no long recovery, just remembering how to move and feel alive again so you can golf, hike, do all the stuff you love to do. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus or 380-208-4544. They have offices all over Columbus, so be sure to check them out at 380-208-4544.
Being diagnosed with leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, or one of over 100 other types of blood cancer makes people want more time to do the things they love. That means more time to be artists, prom dates, world travelers, and moms. We are Blood Cancer United, the world's leading organization focused solely on blood cancer research, support, and advocacy. We do the most for more people with blood cancer, so people with blood cancer can do more of whatever they want. Blood Cancer United. Join us at bloodcancerunited.org.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Bobby is the all-American male. Tito pulled a hammy getting his mail. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice, Tito, Bobby, Big Mo today on a Brody Thursday. Brody back tomorrow. Right now, though, it is time for Big Mo to shine. Let's do it.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Good morning, Big Mo.
Good morning. So let's start with this, what you teased. Notre Dame and Auburn are to play a home-and-home series for the 27-28 school years. It'll be the school's first meetings ever. Obviously, Notre Dame, a national brand, if there ever was one. Mm-hmm. Auburn, not necessarily the top tier of the SEC, but have had some pretty successful seasons. My question would be, Tito, who do you think that this home-and-home series helps more? Does it help Notre Dame or does it help Auburn?
I think it helps Auburn. I know that because Notre Dame is much more of a national brand than Auburn is. I think kudos to Auburn for scheduling this. I'm shocked they've ever played before like this.
What, the classic rivalry of Auburn and Notre Dame?
I'm just saying, like, it's interesting, Bobby. Every time you see this, like, oh, these teams haven't played ever. These teams haven't played in 70 years, whatever it was. And not the same thing, but like when Ohio State played Notre Dame in the Eddie George era, after not playing for so many years. Now they've played a lot.
50 years.
Right. They've played a lot since then because of different bowl game situations and also another home and home. But I love things like this where because I don't know how many other you look at, it's like how many other big time.
Notre Dame had never played Georgia before.
Right.
And that's why all the Georgia fans went there. Like, it's a great thing. It's going to fill the stadium now. You have a lot of people that will travel up there to go do it. It's great. If you're South Bend and Notre Dame, you love it for the tourist element of it because you're going to get so many people that'll pour in there and they'll want to go there and spend money and go to the tours and see all of that.
Yeah.
And if you're Auburn, this legitimizes you a lot more. I mean, Jason Witten once told me that Auburn is the Purdue of the SEC.
Oh. That's an insult, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing.
That doesn't sound like it's a compliment.
No. So
Auburn doesn't have a big drum, though.
They don't have the world's largest drum.
They also have the sun in Auburn, where they don't see the sun in West Lafayette.
That's true, but they think that they're probably in a better position than they are. But this helps validate that. I mean, this is a big game for them, and the fact that Notre Dame is willing to play them, that's a big deal.
That is, yes. And I know Ohio State's got Alabama and Georgia on home homes coming up. I hope all those games stick. I hope they don't cancel any of those games.
Well, they have the deal where they have to play a Power 5 school, Power 4 school.
I understand,
now.
but I'm just saying, like, sometimes you'll see that what they'll do, like the TCU thing.
Well, I understand that, but this is one now that they have that built in there, so you would have to be canceling one to find someone else. It's not like you can just throw in anyone in there now.
I'm excited about this, though. I always like these things where it's either the two teams haven't played ever, or these two teams haven't played in like 50 years. Those are fun. I think it's good for college football, good for both fan bases, but I think Auburn probably benefits a little more than Notre Dame.
All right. Kyler Murray is in the news, not for anything that's real exciting. It will go on injured reserve as he continues
of course he will.
Yeah, rehabilitate a foot injury he suffered in week 5.
I think that's his longest tenured team.
Yeah. I mean, he lasted, till week 5. So that's impressive. Coach Jonathan Gannon says that the injury is not season-ending, and Murray will have a chance to return if his foot gets healthy. Bobby, do you think that this trip to injured reserve was forced on him based on the fact that they hadn't really made much of a decision up until now?
Where is he even playing?
Where in Arizona?
Arizona?
Yeah.
Did he just get traded there, or was he there last year?
No, he's been there.
Kyler Murray's been there for a while, yeah.
He's been there since he got drafted, I think.
Yeah, he's drafted.
Oh, my gosh, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett's the one who was taking over from the starting quarterback.
You said, okay, I got you. I think, yes, they said that they were going to go with him. They were going to start going with Jacoby Brissett. Regardless of this. And so I think this was probably his agents trying to soft serve this a little bit where it doesn't look as bad. And, hey, we want him to be 100% healthy. He's not coming back until that, or this injury could get worse and it could erode, the longevity of his career. But the reality is now he's been there for, 5 years? Like
6 years, somewhere there,
you've seen some really good flashes from him, but the consistency element has not been there. They've talked about the lack of leadership, his desire to maybe play video games more than watch film, and all these different things. And Jacoby Brissett, he might not have the highest ceiling of everybody, but guys really like him. He's a leader. He's not going to lose you games. And they have a team right now, and you watched them on Sunday. Like, you can win with Jacoby Brissett and the guys that they have around him.
It's interesting, Bobby, because, yes, I think Kyler Murray is more talented than Jacoby Brissett, higher ceiling. But Jacoby's done a good job in the time he's played down the last few weeks of getting the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr., which is key on this team, getting him involved. We saw Marvin Harrison Sr. came out and complained about the lack of involvement for his son. Yes, this feels like a benching to me without a benching. You can have some doctor come in and say, you know what, I don't know. It just seems like risky. Another doctor might say, no, he can play. But I feel like this is a soft benching. I think Kyler Murray, to succeed in the NFL, will have to go with another franchise. The whole thing about the video games and having that stuff built in really hurt his reputation. Be it true or not true, but the fact there was
true.
The report came out that said he was playing video games too much instead of studying film. I think that Jacoby Brissett gives them a better chance to win right now, and they're probably looking at a reset at the quarterback position.
All right. Michigan won't open the 2026 season in Germany, and they will play Western Michigan at home. So apparently...
What happened?
I think that the Wiener Schnitzel was not promised, and they just didn't want to go. So it was announced in July that they would move the game from Ann Arbor to Dutch Bank Park in Frankfurt, Germany in week 0. After pushback from fans unhappy with this idea of moving a game away from Ann Arbor, they announced that the game would be played September 5th in Michigan Stadium as originally scheduled. Tito, I have 2 rhetorical questions and 1 real question. Right. Number 1, who really gives a damn?
Right. About the whole state of Michigan. Go ahead.
Yeah. Number 2, will Connor Stallions be rooting for the Wolverines or Western Michigan? But my real question is, do you think that this going overseas for a college program really needs to be kind of kept to the mid-level programs, the ones that aren't at the Michigan, Ohio State level?
I do. And Western Michigan's what, Kalamazoo?
Yeah.
Okay, Kalamazoo to Ann Arbor is a hell of a lot closer than Ann Arbor to Germany.
That's the thing. That's the thing that I didn't understand is the fact that they were playing an in-state school like that, a MAC school, and they were going over there. If you were to tell me, okay, you're going to have Michigan and maybe they're going to play Missouri and they're going to play that over there, all right. I mean, you're giving up some of your home field advantage. I get that. That's the other thing is you're giving up a home game, and so you're giving up revenue, so you've got to make sure that works on that other end of you're getting compensated enough to go over there. And maybe they were, and maybe they thought that they'd have a better chance of drawing and earning a bigger payout with Western Michigan over there as opposed to simply in Ann Arbor. You know, if I was a player, I think it's cool. I enjoyed that, like when you were traveling, getting to play there, and you go to it's kind of like a mini bowl game.
Right.
You're playing Western Michigan, so it's a game that you should win. So there's not near the worry or the preparation of, you know, like you deal with playing in, you know, the CFP or a big-time bowl game back in the day. And I think that's one of the benefits. You can pitch that in recruiting and everything else. I'm just surprised that they actually listen. There must have been a lot of blowback from a lot of people for them to change that.
I got to believe. And you look at it like it's, yes, Michigan, I don't care if they play in Ann Arbor, you know, in Germany, in a box with a fox, to quote Dr. Seuss. Michigan's going to win the game. Michigan will beat Western Michigan. So it wasn't like giving up a home game was going to change the competitive advantage that Michigan has. I am not surprised they canceled this. When they first announced, I'm like, why would you do a Western Michigan game against Michigan? Now, if Michigan had a non-conference game against, say, San Jose State, okay. Yeah. Michigan fans aren't traveling to that game if it's at San Jose State. San Jose State certainly aren't traveling to Ann Arbor. Something like that would make more sense. But, Bob, I'm with you. With how important home field advantage is in college football, I hate the idea of a big-time program, and Michigan is, like, you know, agree or disagree, but I don't like the idea of a big-time program giving up a home game. You know?
Yeah, I get that. And especially one with an in-state school. That was what was the most perplexing thing of all of that, is the fact that it was Western Michigan, and it wasn't, you mentioned San Jose State or whoever it could have been. Pick school X, but someone in-state. Like, they would not have been happy if Ohio State did that and was playing Miami, Ohio, you know, over in
wasn't
London.
there backlash when Ohio State played, what was it, Northwestern up in Cleveland? Wasn't there? Well, it was a Northwestern game, was it? There was a game, there was another game I thought Ohio State played.
Toledo.
Toledo, is that what it was? That was a home game for Ohio State, and they played up there. And Ohio State fans weren't pleased about that, I don't think. Great atmosphere getting to go to there, but it's a smaller stadium, and it's further away. So Ohio State fans are probably like...
Unless you live in Cleveland.
Unless you live in Cleveland, that's true. That is true, Bob. But I don't know what they...
You are aware that there are people that go to the games that don't live in Columbus.
I agree. There's some in Delaware. I got you. And some in, Canal Winchester. But yes, Bobby, I agree. It does happen. I'm just saying that I think that Ohio State fans, I don't care where you're at in the state, would rather be at the Horseshoe than, say, at Paul Brown Stadium. You guys played a game at Paul Brown, didn't you?
Yeah, Cincinnati at Paul Brown.
And that was a Cincinnati home game or your home game?
It was Cincinnati home game.
Okay.
I think down to the end of the game, too.
What's that?
It went right down to the wire, too.
It did. Bobby, you guys tried to give us heart attacks. But anyway, just stop them. Anyway, I'm just saying, though, Bob, that it's it seems to me that Ohio State fans would not react to that either in a positive way. All right. Coming up top of the hour, Albert Breer is going to join us around 7:05, folks. Make sure you stick around. Trade deadline is in our rearview mirror now. We'll talk to him about that. That's next Morning Juice.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. An NBA Titan changes hands for a jaw-dropping $6.1 billion. The Boston Celtics, long a symbol of hardwood glory, have been sold to a group led by investor Bill Chisholm. The Celtics owners paid $360 million for the team in 2002 and are now getting a 17x return. A record-setting sale that proves the value of sports continues to skyrocket. Here's Chuck Moore, the CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on how they help local businesses with a return on their investment.
Thanks, Bobby. We truly value our partners in this community and work with them side by side to help maximize their return on investment. We live and work in Central Ohio. We want to see it flourish, just like all of you.
Exactly, Chuck. Our partners come to us and stay with us because of our dedication to helping them grow and the amazing products we offer. Our experienced bankers and our local processing and underwriting will help you get things done faster, allowing you to seize opportunities as they come up.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
My mom is a veteran and she was injured in the line of duty.
I hurt my leg in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned, so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Wildlife around the globe needs help. And when you help protect them, you become a friend of the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance.
Thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again.
Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
Thank you for helping protect wildlife around the globe. Without you, there's no them. Learn more at sdzwa.org/friend.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS-FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, Morning Juice. We'll get to Albert Breer here shortly. Bob, in the chat, we are talking, Christopher talked about how that he went to that game. He was an usher up there in Cleveland for the Toledo game, and how one of the few games that he got to go with his dad before he passed away. And I'm thinking about this just because of what what you've been through the last week and a half or so, and what happened yesterday or the last couple of days being up there or down there in New Jersey. And it is amazing to me how much I'll say fathers and sons, but it's not just fathers and sons. Sometimes it's fathers, sometimes it's sons and mothers. And siblings and best friends, how much the impact of Ohio State football has on them, and how those moments. And like I remember my oldest turns 25 today, and I remember holding him on my lap in the 0-2 game against Purdue and watching that game.
Throwing him to the ground when we gave up touchdowns.
I didn't throw him to the ground, but I'm not going to say about your defense that day, but that's remember for Holy Buckeye. But
say anything about the defense. How many points do we need to give up? It was less than 10.
What was it? Was it 13-10 the final? So you guys gave up 10, right? Wasn't it 10-6 when he threw the pass? Right, Krenzel?
I want to say that's correct.
So you guys gave up 10.
I don't actually. That's a
right?
Good point.
I think it was 13-10 was the final. Holy Buckeye, that play. Anyway, I remember holding my son on my lap watching that game.
10-6.
The final score is 10-6?
10-6.
Oh, 6-3 there. Okay, all right. So you guys gave up too many points until
We're not going to talk about the defense.
Krenzel
bailed 10-6.
Krenzel bailed you guys out.
You lose the game 6-3. All right,
Krenzel,
where are we really placing the blame here? Okay,
Krenzel and Michael Jenkins bailed you guys out on that one, Bob. Nonetheless, I'm just saying, it was a fantastic moment. Okay, so I remember the moment, not the score. But by the way, Big Mo was nodding his head. Big Mo thought I was right too, so don't put it on just me, right? Big Mo, you agree?
Well, I knew that we'd always.
Yeah.
I knew
I
we'd
was.
it didn't sound right because I knew we only scored twice, and the first score we had was Nugent's field goal before half, which we didn't have any timeouts, and we got like our mayday, like our fast field goal in, and I don't even think he took his steps. He just like ran out there, got it, and banged it through, and the Purdue people were pissed because they thought like that we shouldn't have been able to get it off.
As you watch college football, Bob, going forward, all these years you've been watching college football after that game, how does it seem improbable to you guys won that game?
A lot of those games seem improbable.
There was like, the Cincinnati game we talked about earlier, but like in that moment,
the Illinois game in double overtime the next week,
yes.
I believe. I mean, there's a lot of improbable victories.
But don't you look at it and say, like how the hell did we do that? Or do you look at it and say, never in doubt?
No, I don't. I believe everybody always thought we would find a way to win, but I don't know if anybody felt good about it. I go back and watch some of those games, and I still, knowing the outcome, I'm not sure how we got there. I know that we won, but I'm like, it's getting really late. At some point, we ultimately have to score some points here. When do we get those points? Because there's not a whole lot of time left.
And what, the Northwestern game that year, that's when Claret fumbled a couple times, right? And
I believe 3.
3 it was total in that one, okay.
3 total fumbles he had all season.
I'm trying to think, how many games in that season were never in doubt games?
Indiana, Minnesota.
Did you guys play
Texas Tech, Kent State?
Those ones were. Other than that, though, it came down to like
Washington State, probably.
You think so?
I mean, it was 25-7.
I had forgotten you guys were only up. You guys were up 6. You were down 6-3.
Northwestern, it wasn't as close as it felt. It ended up being 27-16.
Right.
Although he did fumble a little bit and whatever. San Jose State we beat up pretty good. But like Wisconsin was 19-14. Penn State didn't really feel like it was in doubt. I guess once we got the lead, once we always had a lead, I felt good about that. Could we score enough points to actually get a lead at some point in time? And like the only offensive touchdown that was in that game was Chris Campbell returning an interception.
Right.
For a touchdown. That was our offensive score.
Monday morning quarterbacks. Albert Breer joins us now here on Morning Juice. And Albert, good morning. You look great as always. Adding the we get a lot more people now that will watch the show now because Handsome Albert Breer's on. And Albert, I learned something about you yesterday that I didn't know.
What was that?
I thought Ohio State was your first choice. I learned yesterday.
You heard that.
I did. I learned yesterday it wasn't.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that, Albert. Did you know, Bobby?
People think I'm kidding when I say that. I'm not. Like, my dad's from Michigan, and my whole family's from there, and I'm the black sheep. Yeah.
Really? So did you not get into Michigan?
That's what it is.
You settled for Ohio State?
Yeah, that was actually what it was. My grades weren't very good in high school, so I was kind of a jackass back then, and but everything worked out for the best. I told the story on DP's show actually yesterday how a guy I played high school football with was Bobby. I don't know if you would have crossed paths with him. He was a little before you, but he was a priority walk on there. His name was Eddie Brown. He's a lawyer in Columbus now. Yeah. And so me and Eddie grew up together, and Eddie, when I was a freshman at Ohio State, I was a senior in high school, and he had kind of talked to me about the idea of coming to school there. I was never going to play football there, it was, I just always wanted to go to a Big Ten school, and that was always sort of what was college to me. And I explained this to DP too, like where I grew up, a lot of people go to these like liberal arts schools that are the size of high schools in the mountains. You know what I mean? Like, and that was never college to me. Like, college to me was, these big schools in the Midwest. And so, I applied to Michigan State, Ohio State. A lot of my family went to Michigan or Michigan State, and I wound up on the right side of the tracks.
Yeah, I'll say just everyone's clear on this. He is not. He did not regret it. He talked very much about how much he appreciated the fact and does not regret that he went to Ohio State. So make sure I put that out there. I do want to tell you though.
No, I mean that's the thing about it is like that stuff generally. One thing I've learned in 45 years of life is that like things like that a lot of times work out for the best, and this one definitely did.
And just for the record though. At Faber College, Flounder was a legacy and got in at Animal House. But I'm just saying, just so you know, but I appreciate your honesty on that. The trade deadline has come and gone. Was there a move that surprised you that got made and a move that surprised you did not get made?
I think the obvious is, what the Jets did. After doing some reporting on it over the last couple of days, and I'd urge everybody to take a look at the story I'm going to have a little later today on the website on how this all went down. But the Jets trades just kind of they take your breath away a little bit. You know what I mean? Like the decision to move two players of that level at the trade deadline, because we see trades like that, but you generally don't see them in season. And so, the decision to move on from Sauce Gardner, the decision to move on from Quinton Williams, which like they weren't shopping those guys. But, there's sort of a domino effect with the two where, the Cowboys, I think, realized how serious the Jets were about, their willingness to talk about these things after Sauce went down, and then they pushed the Quinnen thing over the goal line. And the Cowboys deal really, the Jets-Colts deal really came together over the course of like 3 weeks, whereas like the Cowboys-Jets deal was a little bit more frantic and quick, So, it's just I think it was a really normal trade deadline outside of that, which is I guess one of those, that was the play otherwise Miss Lincoln type things. But that's definitely the one that surprised me that did happen. And then as far as what didn't happen, I don't know. I generally, and I guess I was wrong this year, but you generally sort of expect an activity, you know what I mean? You sort of expect teams not to do a ton because generally there aren't names like Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams readily available. I guess the one thing would be, if you want to take it back to where you guys are sitting right now, like some teams like Cleveland not being more aggressive and putting some of their guys out there, because I do think there were teams that were willing to deal, but I think in a lot of those cases, the sellers, the teams that had the players that were on the block were driving too hard to bargain from a price standpoint.
So you look at the Dallas deal, obviously, and Quinnen Williams, he's not an edge rusher, but he is a disruptive force in the middle of that, one of the best defensive linemen in the league. Jerry had some comments about it. I think everybody thought he was crazy. We talked about, there's still moves to be made. Maybe we could trade these picks. All right, buddy, when are you going to wait until the day before? But then he also had to comment, Albert, about how if you're not being talked about, sometimes we just like to go and stir it up a little bit. And so if you're a fan, and he also talked about how he doesn't have that many tomorrows left and they want to win. And so you kind of hear all of those things. If you're sitting there as the coach of the Dallas Cowboys or a fan, one hand, hey, we're going all in, we're trying to win. On the other side of it, we like to have people just talk about our team. So if nothing's going on, I'm going to go put us in the news, which probably is about completely juxtaposed to every head coach's dream.
Right. I would say, it can seem scattershot at times for sure. And, you were down there, I was down there. I think, just having covered that team and knowing the way they operate, it does feel that way sometimes. But, they've got a really good head of personnel and Will McClay. And I think if you want to look at the big picture of the whole thing and just from an asset management standpoint, what they're trying to do here, if you take the Quinnen deal and you put it together with the Micah deal, they got a year and a half older. They got about $20 million per year cheaper. They moved a second round pick this year into the first round. So, and then for Matt Eberflus's defense, which has always kind of been centered on disruptive defensive tackles. Like in Indianapolis, he had DeForest Buckner. They could never quite get that part quite right in Chicago. But the ideal has always been to have disruptive guys in the middle. And now, you've got Osa Odighizuwa signed long-term. You got Kenny Clark there, and you have and you have Quinnen Williams. It's just an interesting way to go about it. I also think, to some degree, they felt like they needed to shake it up in general, and not just for the news value. But I know Jerry looks at that as a side benefit. I think they just kind of felt like they had reached the ceiling with the group that they had, and so how do you shake it up where you're not putting so many resources into just three players, which is what it was going to be. It was going to be Dak, CD, Micah. And this is a creative way to sort of get around that. Maybe it gives them the flexibility now to re-sign George Pickens. Maybe it gives them flexibility to do some other things in the offseason. So I do think past the show of all of it, which again, that's always a factor in Dallas, there is good football reasoning behind it. And, I think, Stephen Jones and Will McClay worked real hard on trying to, make sure that whatever they came out of the Micah deal with wound up making sense for the team long term.
Albert Breer joins us, MMQB's Albert Breer here on Morning Juice. Was it close at all for Chris Olave or Brees Hall to get moved?
Olave, no. So, like, the Saints had approached both Olave and Rashid Shaheed about new contracts. I think both those guys are just a little hesitant because of the quarterback situation. If you're a receiver, you'd like to know what's going on at that position. And it's really hard for the Saints to give either Olave or Shaheed a real answer on that. And I think there's like also the realization that it was going to be difficult to do both guys, right? So my sense has been over the last couple of weeks that they were, if they could get a third round pick for Shaheed, the idea was extend Olave and move Shaheed. And so, like, they didn't wind up getting the 3. They get a 4 and a 5 instead. But the first piece that's now done. And I think they're going to make a real hard push to try to get Olave signed now. As for Brees Hall, like, he was available for a 4 over the summer. And his value internally to the Jets changed when Braylon Allen got hurt, because it forced them to lean on him a little bit more. He became more important to everything they do. And so, there's this element too when you're rebuilding, and I don't think people think of this, but I think the Raiders dealt with this, the Jets deal with it, are dealing with it. When you've got a first-year head coach, you really want to be careful about putting your coach in a difficult spot where if you're trading away everybody, and he's trying to build a culture and trying to establish something and finish the year strong and go into the next year with some momentum, you really don't want to cut him off at the knees, And so, like, I think that part of it, because of how important Brees has been to them being competitive at all this year, they weren't going to give him away for a 4. Now, if somebody had come along with a 2 or a 3, you start to think about it. But because he's, up after the year, that offer never came.
The Logan Wilson to Dallas, I feel like that's an underrated part of what went on, talking about culture and a guy that can play. I mean, their linebacking situation wasn't great, and I think he makes them instantly better.
For sure. And, I think, like, that's sort of one of those where, Logan Wilson was on the block, and I think it's just, like, I think most people would say, all right, well, like, why are you going and getting a piece from the Cincinnati defense, right? Like, because we know what the Bengals have been defensively over the last year and a half. But if you start turning over rocks, you see why he was available, which, I mean, more or less, in that situation, it was they had a couple of young guys they wanted to play. If the Bengals were going to get better, it was going to be by getting faster and younger. And so, Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight wind up being the primary 2 guys at linebacker. And Logan had fallen into a bit piece, like he's in a bit role on the defense, which is, contrary to where he was when they were going to the Super Bowl and 2 AFC title games in a row. He was one of the most important pieces of the team then, and obviously doesn't line up with his contract either. So I think what the Cowboys saw there was, an opportunity to get a good football player. He wasn't part of a great defense in Cincinnati, but was maybe a little bit more of a victim of circumstance there. And so, that's been a trouble spot for the Cowboys. And I think it's a nice pickup that can help them. I think their defense has a chance to look significantly different, Bobby. I mean, I think one thing that was pointed out to me was over the last couple of weeks, Flus there has started to go to more 5-man fronts. And as you know, like, that's going to give them the opportunity to put Odighizuwa, Clark, and Quinnen on the field at the same time. So to have those 3 on the field at the same time with Logan Wilson behind them, I think gives them a chance to be a lot better on defense than they have been.
He doesn't bleed red. He bleeds scarlet. Albert, we appreciate the time, buddy. We'll talk again next week.
Always. I'm never going back, guys. I promise you that.
Boy, that's what I'm talking about. That's Albert Breer, Monday Morning Quarterback. I'm telling you, go check out his stuff every week. It's fantastic.
By the way, I want to give you the props, too, because you're on with Dan, you're on with Rich. Rich was hyping you up about your new Albert in 4K. Looking good, the new setup there with the screen. So whoever your tech guy is, congratulations.
It's gotten better, right? It's gotten better. I'm actually my own tech guy right now. So thanks, Bobby. I appreciate it.
Even
The
better.
game, I was on the phone with our tech guy, so I was the one who had to adjust the focus and everything else. I hope it looks good for you guys too.
You look dashing.
You guys get to see the sweat coming off of my forehead.
I love it. That the 4K thing is great. Look, hey, Clooney's got nothing on you, Albert. We'll talk next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was our Breer MMQB. We'll do NFL picks. Talk to Ya Highness next. Morning Juice.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you've hit your medical deductible, now's the time to see Dr. Mark Levy. Get a custom oral appliance that stops snoring and helps you ditch that CPAP and pay less out of pocket. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com before the year ends.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at mda.org today.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Don't let your insurance benefits go to waste. End the year sleeping better with Dr. Mark Levy's oral appliance. No mask, no noise, just results. Hurry, deductibles reset soon. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com today.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Bobby, Tito, not Brody. We got Big Mo in. We will do our picks here quickly, as Bobby has told me to do this quickly and not pontificate too much so we can get to Ya Highness. Let's do NFL picks.
Morning Juice presents NFL Picks.
Sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences, tickets, sideline passes, trips to a first-round postseason game, and more. Register today at roosterswings.com.
All right, Big Mo, let's zip through these picks so we can get to Your Highness, whatever was here for anyway at this point in time. What do we got first?
All right, tonight, Las Vegas at Denver, Denver -9.
Bobby, just so you know,
unrelated news, we both went 5-9 last week.
And you're still ahead. You're ahead by 4 games. That's on me. 6 games. Sorry, 6 games you're ahead of me. Math is good. All right, what do you got for look, I like Denver laying the 9 in this one. I have no faith in Las Vegas whatsoever. Give me the Broncos and lay the points at home.
It's a big spread, but I'm going to lay them too.
All right. Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. in Berlin, Atlanta against Indianapolis, Indy -6.
That's a big number. Wonder if Sauce and the whole crew will be out there. We'll see about that. I'm going to lay those points, though.
I'll lay them as well. Give me Indy laying the 6 against Atlanta.
Buffalo at Miami. Buffalo -9.5.
That's a lot. It's in Miami. Not that matters.
Wasn't Baltimore game in Miami too last week, right?
Yeah, I mean, the home field isn't there, but if it was in Buffalo, it'd be cold, and they would not be wanting to play. Gosh, 9.5 is a big number, though. I'm still going to lay the points.
I'll lay the points as well. I think Buffalo rolls in this game.
Jacksonville at Houston. Houston minus 1.5.
I don't think Stroud's playing. Looks like Davis Mills will probably be the starter there for Houston.
You going to roll with Houston even with no date?
Nope. I'm taking Jacksonville. I'll take the 1.5.
Yeah, I concur on that. Give me the points. No CJ.
Giants at the Bears. Bears minus 3.5.
I mean, the Bears have not been great, but the Giants are so beat up. Can they hang around? Can they keep it to a field goal in Chicago?
It's 3.5, though. So I think they keep it to a field goal. I think they keep it to a field goal and a half, though.
If they can keep it to a field goal, then they get the cover.
I'm saying, I like the Bears. I thought they were talking about like the Giants if they can keep it to a field goal. I'm saying I like the Bears. I'll lay the 3.5.
Give me the points.
New Orleans at Carolina. Carolina minus 5.5.
I'm going to lay the points on this. New Orleans, they're trying to find their way.
I'm laying them as well. Carolina, suddenly a playoff contender, believe it or not. Give me Carolina and lay the points.
New England at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay minus 2.5.
Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one here. New England has been playing really good football. Tampa Bay's getting a little healthier. Let's give me those points at home. Or lay the points.
You lay the points. I'm going to lay the points as well. I think that Tampa Bay does win this game. New England's so damn good, but I think Tampa Bay ends up finding a way to win this game by a field goal.
Cleveland at the Jets. Cleveland minus 2.5.
Cleveland favored again. What are the odds of that there, Bob? I will still lay the points. God, at the Jets. Wait. Yeah, I'll lay the points.
Traded away everybody.
They did. I'm going to lay the points.
Baltimore at Minnesota. Baltimore minus 4.
Baltimore's getting healthy. They're getting better. I'm going to lay them.
Look, Baltimore's defense is the best, healthiest it's been since the start of the season, since like week 2. I know J.J. McCarthy had a big game last week. I don't believe in him still. Give me Baltimore. I'll lay the 4 points, even though they're on the road.
Arizona at Seattle. Seattle minus 6.5.
So we know that Jacoby Brissett's going to be the starter there. They just won at Dallas outright.
6.5. Give me the points.
You will take Arizona in 6.5?
Oh, yeah. So give me the points means.
Bobby, I'm just verifying. I'll take the points also with Arizona. 6.5.
I feel like I got you second guessing.
No, you and I are agreeing almost everything here now, so I can't make up ground. I got to figure out a way to not agree with you.
The Rams at the 49ers. Rams minus 3.5.
Hold on. Listen, if you're doing this and it's the middle of the season, I understand if there's like a week or two left.
I understand. I got you.
Just try to pick the right games. At least the right side. What we got? Rams at San Francisco?
Rams are minus 3.5 at San Francisco. Brock Purdy might play. We haven't heard for sure yet.
Listen, I'm believing in Stafford and this Rams squad. Lay the points.
There we go. I'll take San Francisco getting the 3.5. Rams win by a field goal. Give me the 49ers.
Detroit at Washington. Detroit minus 8.5.
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, that's a lot of points though. But Detroit's they're gonna need a win. I'm gonna lay the points in this.
I will take the 8.5. I think Detroit wins, but it's by less than 8.5.
Sunday night, Pittsburgh at the L.A. Chargers. Chargers minus 3.
I'll just tell you now, it's Pittsburgh getting 3. That's where you want to go.
I concur. I'll be on you with that.
And your Monday night matchup, Philadelphia at Green Bay. Green Bay minus 2.5.
We get a good Monday night game this week, Bob.
That is a good net matchup. Will you be able to watch it on ABC? Who knows if you have YouTube TV?
That's a fair question.
I am going to. I mean, Philadelphia has been good. Give me the points.
You want Philadelphia getting the 2.5. I'm going to take. Got Packers lost to Carolina in Green Bay. I'm going to take the Packers. Monday Night Magic. Give me the Packers and lay the 2.5. There we go. That's our NFL picks. And now, Ya Highness joins us here on Morning Juice. First question for you is not football related. But, Ya Highness, do you ever sleep?
No. But my first question is, Mo Money, Mo Problems. What's up, baby? How you doing, Momo?
Hey, I'm just living. I'm living the dream.
There we go. Perfect. You know what? Tell Brody he needs to come back. But I like Mo was a great substitute. Anytime he's like low-fat milk, It's filling and nutritious. I like it.
Yes, he is the best. He's the perfect fill in there for Brody. We're glad we have him on. Okay, so I'm curious on some of your picks for this upcoming week, and I know the college, they came up with the CFP, and you have said there's only a certain number of teams that really can win the national championship, right?
Yeah, so let's do this. Let me rip through the NFL real quick because I feel like you have a lot of questions on college football. Yep. So I got 3 plays, and I think I sent a typo over the email last night. But here are the trends. Let me go over the betting trends with you real quick. So the last 15 years, weeks 8 through 17 in the NFL, divisional underdogs cover 66% of the time. That's last 15 years, weeks 8 through 17. Also, in the same clip, divisional games, the unders hit, depending on the year, but over the last 7 years, 66 to 68% of the time, the unders hit divisional games. So keep that in mind. A lot of divisional games, and then also the familiarity between the teams. So the teams I'm going to take this week for official plays is going to be the Miami Dolphins plus 9.5 at home against Buffalo, the Arizona Cardinals plus 6.5 against the Seattle Seahawks. Here's the deal. Seattle looked sexy, real sexy last game. And what was it, Tirico, I think, was calling the game? Kept going on and on and on and on about how great Seattle was. I think the public's going to overreact. Jacoby, I always call him Brissett, is a better option than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray now on the IR, so they have no option to go to Kyler Murray. They got to go with Jacoby, and I think he does better for the offense. The way he was hooking up with Marvin Harrison, the Jr., he looked very good. McBride is another great target who he didn't even utilize that much last game, but McBride, Trey McBride, I believe is his name, the tight end, he used them a lot. So I like Seattle. Not Seattle. I like Arizona versus Seattle. I think the Cardinals could win that game outright. So if you're a plus money player and like that, yeah, I think so. I think the familiarity between the two teams. I know being here in Arizona, most Cardinals fans hate the Seahawks. So I think within the team, there's an actual motivation to beat the Seahawks as well. And then the last one is the typo I sent to you. I think I put Rams plus 4.5. Yeah. I actually want the San Francisco 49ers plus the 4.5. So 3 dogs, all plus money, all divisional games, and I'm taking the dog and all those divisional games with the points. Okay.
College football?
That's NFL.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get to college football. I will say if you do want the top 4 NFL props for this weekend, shoot me an email, first name Chad at WeWinUwin.com. We've gone 3-1 the last 2 weeks on those. If you add in the college plays that I was sending out earlier for your folks, I think that puts us at 19-9 on the email plays I've sent out to your listeners.
Hey, look, the transparency. Decent. We'll get to college football. So the transparency thing, though, I love that about what you do, Ya Highness, is that the fact that you tell people this is how I did. And so it's not like some fake thing. All the stuff is documented. Everyone's got receipts. They can see what you did. But the fact you come out there and say it, and you have no problem saying if you ever do, not that you do, but if you ever do a bad week or an under 500 week, you come out and say it. But you also make sure people know, look, this is my track record.
100%, because I can't tell you about the good if I don't tell you also about the bad. And I will also tell you that about a couple weeks ago, yeah, we did. You know, we don't win every single week. This college football season, I pulled the numbers here, a $50 better. So $50 is kind of like your normal bet size. A $50 better would be up $5,337 just betting professional college football, just following our plays. That's the other thing is we don't tell you what to bet. I show you what I'm betting, and then it's up to you to follow if you like. So you're just I'm very transparent. I do grades. So every single college football game, I break down 9 advanced analytics. I put it into this algorithm. I call it an algorithm. It's probably a little give myself benefit of the doubt. And then I spend probably 2.5 days going through pen and pad. For those that can't see or can see at home, I have notepad after notepad after notepad after notepad of things. This is not a hobby. This isn't something I do on the side. This is my one and only job. I take this very seriously. I know I come on here and joke around with you guys, but I've had, and let's segue into college football, I've had the national champion of college football every single year since 2007.
Ooh.
At the end of week 10, I put out 4 teams that are going to win it all. Perfect. I've never been wrong. And if you've been following Two of these teams you should already be on. So let's get into college football. The first team is no surprise, the Ohio State Buckeyes. I told you back in August, you can go back and look at the show. I told you to get on the Ohio State Buckeyes National Championship at 8-1 to 9-1. They're now, I think, like 2.5 to 1. I also told you to take them to win the Big Ten Championship. That's a layup. Last week, I told you Oregon. Get Oregon at 10 to 1. I think you can still get them around there. So those are two of the four teams, Ohio State and Oregon, and I don't think anybody's shocked. The third team, again, I don't think it's going to really shock anybody. What shocked me is I use advanced analytics called FEI. In layman's terms, what does that mean? That takes the college team and puts them against the mean college team on a neutral field, and how will they compare? The number one team in the country is not Ohio State for the first week all season. Indiana actually barely, and I'm talking by a smidge, is slightly above them. So Indiana would be the third team. I think the best you can get them is 5 to 1, so it's not my favorite. And the fourth team is going to shock you.
All right, here we go. So we got Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State so far.
And I don't necessarily think this team can win, but if they get into the playoffs, they're trouble. It's 130 to 1.
Oh, wow.
And that is the Utah Utes.
Ooh.
The Utah Utes come in at fourth on my FEI rankings. They're sitting at 13th in the playoff poll, which means they're just on the outside looking in. We got a lot of big games. For instance, BYU, Texas Tech this week. That's going to change some things up. At 130 to 1, you would be dumb to throw a 5 or 10 spot on there at least, if not more. But if they get in the playoffs, they are dangerous. I believe Dampier is that quarterback. He's a beast. He can run and throw the ball. So there's a little sleeper for you. Those are my four teams. And I'll even go out and stick my neck out there and say, if anybody wants to sign up for the membership today and one of those four teams don't win a national championship, I'll give you all of next year free. That's how confident I am that one of those four teams will win.
So notable omission from that, Ya Highness, is the fact there's not a single SEC team in your group that you just mentioned.
Correct. Big Ten is a better football school than the SEC, and it has been for the last 3 years. Michigan, Ohio State, and probably Ohio State again this year is my pick. I don't think Ohio State can lose. The only loss they could possibly have is because Ryan Day can't get over that Michigan hump. But that's not a talent thing. That's a mental thing. Otherwise, Ohio State doesn't lose a single game the whole year. And I'm not a big Ohio State fan. You guys know that. I'm just telling you, they are by far, up and down, from top of roster, bottom of roster, the best college football team in the country. And I don't think it's that close.
So if you could find a bet somewhere, and I'm sure there's one out there, like a Big Ten team winning the Natty or field.
Minus 140.
Okay, you would take Big Ten in that one.
Heavy. I mean, a good amount of money that you're, obviously don't be putting money up you can't afford to lose, but you're basically taking Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana. Those are my top three teams. Now, mind you, just below or just after Utah is Bama, Georgia, Texas A&M. But there is a significant drop. I have not seen this. For instance, let's go back like last year, right? Ohio State was up at the top, but they weren't so much farther ahead of everybody else. And the year that Michigan won it, they weren't so much far ahead of everybody else, but they were in that top four. Indiana and Ohio State are almost a tier ahead of Oregon. And then it's Oregon, Utah, and then a little drop, and then Bama, Georgia, so on. So really, again, after week 10, Ohio State, Indiana are clear-cut the two best statistical teams. And again, for those that have no idea what I'm talking about, you can go Google FEI. It's not something I created, but it's something I definitely use. It essentially takes all the data points and puts them together and then accumulates. And this is great come bowl time, by the way, is takes how they compare on a neutral field against the average opponent. And it does wonders as far as betting. So.
Okay, so today is November 6th, and I know from our notes that today is the deadline, right, for the squares for your Thanksgiving contest, right?
Yes, sir. So Thanksgiving Day squares is $60 to get in. That covers all three games on Thanksgiving. We take $10 per square, donate that to the 12-year-old boys baseball team. The can't think of their name. Heather Downs Hurricanes. Sorry, they're right out there at Toledo, Ohio. We do 13 payouts. So 12 are the quarters. So at the end of each quarter, you'll get a payout. And then also there's a little side pot. You guess the total combined score of all 3 games, you get an additional $300. But wait, there's more. If you sign up before the end of today, we'll double that $300 to $600. Right, Bobby? Just
Love
for
it.
you. So it works out so you get 3 games, 1 square, but the board changes for all 3 games. So you could technically win 12 times. I mean, in theory, take down a few $1,000. But each square is worth $333 if you hit. Like I said, $300. It's a lot of fun. Money goes to a great cause. This is a startup travel baseball team in the Toledo, Ohio area, so they're trying to cover tournament costs, travel costs, things like that. They're going out to play in some tournaments out of state that they need help with some travel expenses. So that's what I'm all about, man, helping the kids that can't afford, or maybe their parents can't afford to get them into athletics. I don't want finances to stop any child from being able to participate in athletics.
Chad at WeWinYouWin.com is where you can get the official top 4 NFL props for the weekend. And he already gave you his 4 teams he thinks can actually win the national championship. Lots of knowledge on there. He's got his the squares coming up. Today's the last day on that for the deadline. What else can you tell us about? Like, by the way, we enjoyed your cartoon, the most recent.
I was going to ask. So, I get a little hesitant making about real people because, I don't want to offend nobody. I don't want to, So what is your honest feedback? Did you think I did a fair assessment of the cartoon characters of you, Bobby and Brody?
I liked it.
Yeah, I thought you did. I thought it was very good. I love the fact, your creativity around getting around like the 97.1 stuff and the names and all stuff. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. I watched it start to finish, and I enjoyed it. I shared it, and I got some positive feedback also from people that I shared it with. I thought it was great, though. I think it's very creative what you guys are doing over there. I say you guys. Is it just you?
For what? For the cartoon? Yeah. No, I have. No, I'm a little bougie. So I'm the creative. I create all the music you hear in there, all the scripting, all that. I do all that. I do all the voices, and then I have my guy, I call him 2 Unit Teddy, but Ted Cook. He's out of Minnesota. But he handles all of my editing back end for all of my shows, live streams, everything else like that. He just lets me be the pretty face on camera, face for radio. And he handles all the back end editing. And he does a great job, thankless job. Reminds me, I think I need to send him a Christmas present this year. So, but yeah, but he does an awesome job behind the scenes. I couldn't do it without him. Just like you guys have Mo Money, Mo Problems and Brody Light.
Yep.
You couldn't do the show without him. Same thing. So I'm just a pretty face with a big mouth. He's the operations.
It's a pretty mouth, though.
It is a pretty mouth. You got a pretty mouth over there. It is.
Oh, buddy, there one time in jail, a guy told me that, and it didn't end well for neither one. All right.
It's Ya Highness. Chad at WeWinYouWin.com is where you can go and get his picks, and then tell us about your podcast again.
Yeah, the little @ symbol. Go to the YouTubes. Little @ symbol. Shut up and bet.
Right.
And you're going to see my pretty face. Most days I do the free plays. I put them out there. By the way, just to be clear, because I know maybe some children listen to this on their way to school. No kids. I say 21 and up, but I guess technically by law 18 and up. There is some, I don't know. Jeff, you can tell them it's not for the kids. It's not for the kids.
Look, listen. Well, honestly, I'll tell you this: it's not for most kids. There are some kids I know that would probably be able to watch it and explain it to me better than some of the stuff that I'll miss. Most kids, yes, I would not do it unless your kid is really has been exposed to things that no, don't see. Bob, exposed is the wrong word. Kids that have seen.
Yeah,
things.
Don't use the word expose.
I know.
Kids in the same
kids that have seen things
that
other kids haven't seen. Let's put it that way. I know some kids that would love it.
Speaking of which,
yes.
Did you like the Jerry Sandusky, Ohio reference?
I got it. Oh, you're the best, man. Thanks. We'll talk again next week, buddy.
And by the way, next week we're going to start getting into Thanksgiving giveaways. So if your listeners are paying attention, maybe next week's the time to listen away, and we'll start doing some giveaways for the holidays.
All right, there you go. He is Ya Highness. Chad at WeWinYouWin.com.
Hey, no, hold on. Are we still here?
Yeah, do it.
Mo, I don't know if you're familiar, but we got to jump on the right foot and do the wrong thing. Bobby, peace!
You're the man. There we go. God, highlight of my week. He was Ya Highness, and like Chad at WeWinYouWin.com, get his picks, and the dude is good. We will close things up next, tell you what's got us juiced. Morning Juice.
Hey, You know, that chronic pain, your knees, hip, back, shoulders, whatever joint it might be, it can make life feel impossible. But at QC Kinetics, there's a breakthrough treatment that's giving patients relief, some cases even within 1 day. It's called stem wave therapy. This device has been used for over 20 years in Europe, and it's made its way to the United States. And there's a groundswell of demand for the treatments because the patients are getting real relief from acute pain, and they're spreading the word. Here is the most interesting detail. The device is both a diagnostic and therapeutic, helping Dr. Ray Tesner and the medical team at QC Kinetics find the problem and then trigger your body's own natural healing response. StemWave uses the same technology as lithotripsy, the sound waves that penetrate, spark blood flow, and more cellular activity. That's exactly what you need to promote healing and relief. Wondering if this is a good solution for you or your pain? QC Kinetics is making it easy. Your first treatment is only $49. So call for a consultation and ask about the $49 treatment right here at 380-208-4544.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
In honor of all those we've lost to cancer and those still fighting and thriving, like basketball analyst and cancer champion Dick Vitale.
I want to beat cancer. I'm going to beat it. That's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to win this battle.
Defeating cancer will take all of us. Join our team to help fund game-changing research that saves lives. At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over the odds. V is for victory over health disparities, victory over setbacks, victory over the unknown. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate to the V Foundation to join our team and help save lives.
Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul.
100% of donations fund game-changing cancer research. Donate now to the V Foundation at v.org.
Hi, this is Martina McBride. With online news, social media, and texting available 24/7, the world seems to be spinning faster and faster every day. And it can be overwhelming. Sometimes we just need to unplug and take a break from our electronic devices. It can help reduce stress and allow us to reflect on the things that are really important in our lives.
This message brought to you courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Since 2003, Wounded Warrior Project has helped post 9/11 veterans adjust back to civilian life. Through specialized programs, they begin healing their bodies and minds while regaining a sense of camaraderie. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Attack and dominate, YouTubers. You're locked into Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice. Let's do this.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We are going to do what's got you juiced. We are going to play Schlegs momentarily. Then we're going to go to Bobby. I'm going to let Bobby own the segment because he's got a lot to say, I'm sure. But also, after, we'll do this. Tell us what's got Schlegs juice, then we'll go.
So many guys, as we get older, you look for that community and that fellowship, and it's like, but it's in the trials and the tribulations and the perseverance and the celebration of a hard-fought victory over that piece of crap team. That's what you remember.
That was Schlegs. Now, before we get to Bobby, I want to tell you, if you call 614-821-1460, 614-821-1460, caller number 2 gets 2 tickets to see OAR with Gavin DeGraw and KT Tunstall at Kemba Live Outdoors, September 10th, 2026. Tickets on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m., Friday, November 7th, 10 a.m. But caller number 2 right now gets that. And Bob, because I've given up on trying to follow you in the last couple weeks on what's got you juiced, I'm going to let you take the time and tell us all about what's got you juiced.
Okay, so yeah. Obviously, was out Tuesday and Wednesday, went over to New York, and I was actually texting with Albert Breer after his appearance on with us, and just him asking about it, and the notable people that were there. A bunch of my former teammates from Ohio State, a lot of guys from our 2002 freshman recruiting class were all there, and Obviously, our head coach, Jim Tressel, and offensive line coach, Jim Bowman, went to. And it was incredibly well done by his wife, Jenny. And I can only imagine, and her family and his friends just collectively putting that all together. The connection with the New York Jets and what that meant to him. And then an unbelievable video talking about how he only wanted to be a Jet, and that was a big deal for him. So playing 11 seasons all with the same franchise, and he had opportunities the last year. They were very lucrative, and I actually talked to his agents because he had told me a story about how what he had asked for and then what ultimately he turned down because he was just done and said it was important. He wanted to spend it all with one team. And because of that, the Jets, he was a great ambassador for them, would go around on game days and talk to people in tailgates and just walk through the stadium and just be the everyman, the guy that he always was. And, man, did they come through in a big way. I mean, their director of security was running everything for him and had all of the police escort and everything set up, the motorcade, the security at the church, at the viewing and the funeral the following day. And just, they had cars picking us up from the airport to take us where we needed to go. I mean, they had everything done there for us and done really well. And it was really great to see a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a long time. Some of my former teammates here, but a lot of guys who I'd played with or played against in the NFL. And that was the impact that Nick had on people and the connectivity that sports can give you. And, I mean, I haven't seen my boy Antonio Cromartie in a long time, and getting a chance to talk to Crow, and his son's a junior, I want to say, down in Texas. He's a receiver, and they're recruiting him up here. Really likes Heartline, and they had gone against each other a number of times, and just he had played with the Jets a couple different stints, and how much Nick meant to him. And Fitzpatrick, did one of the readings. Alan Faneca delivered a phenomenal eulogy. And it just shows the impact, how many people cared about him, how many people's lives he touched. And, Breer had told me that they had, obviously there was the trade deadline and a lot of stuff going on yesterday. And some of that stuff was done, and they chose to hold it until after the funeral because they didn't want those things going off with knowing how much Nick meant, and that there was people from the organization there, and that they could just pay respects to their friend who had passed away. And that, I think, speaks volumes about what he meant to the Jets organization, to the city of New York, and to all the people that were there. So it was a very emotional day. It was a long one. I didn't get a whole lot done yesterday. I mean, I had some TV and some different radio stuff and things I did, but I needed to sleep in the morning. I knew after talking to my wife, she's like, you're going to be exhausted. And I slept in for quite some time just due to the celebrating of his life and things that come with that, but then also just the emotional fatigue of everything that went through it. And I can only imagine how his wife Jenny feels today and everything that she had gone through the last week and change. So
how's she holding up?
I mean, it's given good given the circumstances. I mean, she looked fine, and was, crying a lot, hugging a lot, and I think she's doing okay. Like his sisters were doing, as good as could be expected. And his mom was doing okay, but like he was just a big guy that everybody was going to miss, and everybody had stories. And the beautiful thing about it, I said, whether you were friends with Nick in high school, college, the NFL, or, he had his group of, I call him his dad friends that lived around him in New Jersey. All of the stories with Nick are kind of the same. I said, it's almost like a Van Damme movie where the cast changes, the plot might be in a different location, but it's the same thing over and over again.
The same thread,
It's the same deal. And I go, that was the beauty of Nick. Like the same thread bled through everything. And so those guys are like, man, that story. I'm like, yeah, it sounds a lot like your story about how Nick was wanting to do this, pressured you into doing that, and everybody ended up having a great time together. And it's just, it's so sad to see him go. And he's one of those guys that I'll always be able to hear his voice in my head because of how just impactful it was and the things that he would say. So there was a lot of comedic relief because that's the type of guy that Nick was. And everybody tried to honor him as such. And that also helped break up, just some of the intense emotional moments. But it was a good 2 days, but a tough 2 days, and a memorable 2 days to say the least.
And Bob, I don't want to speak out of turn here, but when I hear you talk about it, and as we're getting older, obviously we didn't expect something like this to happen with Nick at such a young age, but things like this will happen as we get older. And as tragic as it is that your friend is no longer with us here, the fact that I got to believe there's a lot of laughter, a lot of tears, but a lot of laughter there when you're out there and celebrating people. You're seeing, and Nick, without being here, brought you together with people you hadn't talked to in years. And it gives you that moment of like, I should talk to these people more often because life is very short. It's like almost like a gift that Nick has given to all of you by this happening. And it's awful that it happened. I'm not saying anything other than that. But the fact, though, that it feels to me like Nick provided all of you with an opportunity to reconnect, which is a positive thing of that. And like you said, Nick's voice you'll hear forever. And I'm sure a lot of the people feel that way. It is quite the blessing when you've got someone who you're close to and no one can say one negative thing about you.
I mean, I could say some negative things.
I know
about
you don't
Nick,
mind saying that. But I'm saying,
I said once you die, though, then you can't say those things anymore. Like unless you're in close company. That was one of the things. I'm like, Nick wasn't a saint. He was a great guy,
right?
But I mean, Saint Nick, that's Santa Claus. I mean, he was close,
right?
But then, I mean, everybody had their flaws and the idiosyncrasies with that. But he was, like you said, a connector, and it inspired. Mike Nugent was there, and he was telling my wife. It was tough because Laura and Courtney were there with us, AJ and I, and we were two of the pallbearers. And so it's tough because you don't get a chance to kind of see everyone else as much because we were more with the funeral party, if you would call it that. And Nugent was we all went to dinner the night in between, and he goes, "Man, I haven't laughed that much in a long time." And say, well, we can get together more often. Like, we need to do this stuff and make a concerted effort. And this might be the impetus of that and making some more regular programming to be able to come back and share those great stories together.
Well, Bob, I will tell you, based on, and you were gone for a couple of days there, based on what we experienced through the chat and through people communicating with all of us, and I'm sure with you personally on social media, it has been a tumultuous week and a half, to say the least, but also a lot of positives, and the people have really appreciated your sharing your feelings, sharing your experiences, sharing stories about Nick, and obviously Schlegs did as well. Jay-Z, Justin's
the fact that he answered, he was like, they called me, and I'm like, I knew that they would. Thitoff said they were going to. I'm glad he answered.
Yeah, he did answer, yes. True Schlegs form, he ripped me for one of the questions I asked him. But nonetheless, but the way that you guys have, and AJ last week, the way you guys have continued to speak about your experiences with Nick and what he meant and all the things with him, and we've all seen things also on a national level. The Rex Ryan thing was truly emotional, him talking about what Nick meant to him. But anyway, Bob, though, I hope this isn't the last time we talk about Nick. I hope we do it much more often, but it's been, I don't know if it's been therapeutic for you, but it's been cathartic. Okay, that's a better way to look at it than yes. But it's been certainly, I know that the listeners, and I know myself personally, we've certainly benefited from hearing all of these stories. So thank you, Bob. Thanks for being back today. I appreciate that. Thank you, Big Mo. Thanks to Albert Breer. Thank you to Ya Highness, who always brings a certain field, a certain vibe to the show. We appreciate that. Make sure you join us tomorrow, folks, on Morning Juice, as AJ Hawk will join us. We can ask AJ. We'll do that next. Tomorrow, I should say, Morning Juice.